Hi guys, welcome back. It's week 3. Can we believe I'm still here and I'm freaking doing it? My name is Elise. This is the Take It to Heart podcast with Elise. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the support that you guys have given me so far. Genuinely, I'm very blessed and grateful to have a support system that enjoys the content that I put out, no matter what that be, my random media projects. And I'm very grateful to have a support system that does not make me feel embarrassed for just doing the things that I want to do. So, anyway, what have you guys been up to this week? This week so far, since last Wednesday, I started classes. I had a horrible day at one of my jobs, but then the next time I actually had a really, really, really awesome day. So that's just my sign to never ever try to give up ever again. I've got little clips in my hair again because I'm trying to prove a point about how much more put together it makes you look. So for this week, I decided to do a advice session one because when I had my radio DJing show, I love doing advice sessions and they're always the most interesting and the best episodes in my opinion. So I asked some of my friends, I asked my Instagram, takeittoheart.pod on Instagram, if they needed advice. So I'm going to give you advice, even though I don't know how many people actually want advice on these things. So let's get started. Okay, the first one. I got two questions about this. Oh, wise one, how do I stop procrastinating? From two of my dear friends. So here's the thing. Here's what helps me stop procrastinating is by realizing that nobody actually has the motivation to do anything. Because motivation, at least to me, this is not like I'm not studied in this, whatever. To me, the motivation to do something is just the one little thought you have that pops into your head that's like, oh, I should do this one thing. But that doesn't actually convert into action. What converts into action is just discipline. The only thing that can stop you from procrastinating is disciplining yourself and saying, no one else is going to force me to do this. I just have to do it. And at some point, it's going to have to be done. So why not just do it now? I hope that makes sense. I think the same thing with like the gym. Nobody actually has real motivation to go to the gym. It's discipline or it's habit from being disciplined so many times. Yeah, that's my advice on procrastinating. Realizing that no one actually has motivation to do anything, or at least if they do have motivation, that doesn't convert into action. Oh, and I put my silver rings on and my gold rings on with my gold. I don't know if that's breaking the fourth wall. Next, how to find a nice man. Now, when I saw this question, just briefly looked to see if people were actually responding on Instagram. I started laughing because I think the only time that I've gotten a nice man was when I was really, really mean to them. I don't mean like actually mean, but like, yeah. So I don't know how much advice I have on that. That's not real advice. That's just the only experience I have with like men that I would consider nice, nice. I don't think I can put this in. Let's talk about something more insightful. How to have standards but not be overly judgy. This is something I'm passionate about. Well, okay. I think the idea of standards for me also ties in with the idea of soulmates, and that's something that I think about a lot because I feel like society like puts this pressure on finding your soulmate, and it kind of just makes it seem like when you find this person, you're instantly going to click and you're going to build this beautiful relationship. That's my bird. But I think that completely overlooks the idea that when you meet a person that you're going to have a relationship with, maybe that you're going to end up with, sure, you could click instantly in some way, but you're still going to have to build that relationship from the bottom up. Even if you do have so many things in common, you're still going to have to build that relationship up. So keeping that in mind, the idea that nobody really is fully ready for a relationship either. There's still different aspects to a relationship that you're going to have to learn from being in that relationship. Makes it a little bit easier to give people grace and not be overly judgy, like, oh, they're imperfect in this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. But still having the standards of, like, this is something that I look for in a person. This is not something that I should overlook. This is a value of mine. This is a value that I value highly. I feel like there's a way to find a balance in between those. That's still something I'm figuring out too, obviously. Growing up, growing older, finding different relationships in a broader sense too. Maybe I just haven't experienced it yet. Maybe that's why. But that's how I view it currently in my life. Next, how to emotionally recover from hand, foot, and mouth disease. Now, this is something I'm going to have to look up because I didn't know. I didn't know how serious this was until I saw this person post something about it. So, give me a second, Jamie. A blister-like rash on the hands, foot, and sores in the mouth. Fever, sore throat, painful mouth sores that can make eating difficult. Ugh. And I know this person posted about, like, your skin shedding on your hands. I didn't even. How is this even possible for it to affect these 3 parts of your body? And, like, that's it. Hopefully, that's it. Hopefully, there's nothing more than that. Do you need a hug? That's a real offer. I don't even. That's crazy. It's my only advice is that's crazy. That's crazy. I think taking it slow, maybe the theme of this is giving grace. Give yourself grace because that is insane and extremely difficult. And we're all here for you. Oh, we need a name for the viewers. Comment down below. Now, this one is kind of a joke, but I actually want to comment on this. What do I do if my friend is throwing a hibachi night and wants to use an Asian accent? Now, I don't know why it is so. Okay, 2 things with this. I don't know why it's so common for white men to think it's funny to do an Asian accent, like an old Asian man accent. I don't find that funny. This person that I'm not really friends with anymore, they had been taking Chinese for like 8 years and were really good at it, but still, it's a white guy. But he did an Asian accent, like impression, I don't know, just for fun, like casually. I don't know if taking Chinese for 8 years gives you that pass. I don't know. Maybe the other Asian viewers can comment down below. That makes me feel weird. Second point, what is this trend that's going around of white women saying that they're at a very Chinese point in their life? I know the meme. I get that it comes from a meme, but drinking tea and wearing slippers, like, why are you? I don't know. That makes me feel weird too. So, yeah, we did. This question is a joke. We did shut it down. What do I do if a guy with a long term on and off girlfriend started texting me? Now, for the person that sent this is a large issue for this person. I don't know why this always happens to them. Different people. I don't even know because that is just the most insane thing a person can do to themselves, have a long term on and off girlfriend. Because, like, you have to have no respect for yourself and the fact that things come to an end. And sure, I've not been in that situation before, but I don't ever want to put myself in that situation. Of the person, not of the person who commented this, because that's not her fault, but like the people that are on and off long-term relationships. For this, I just think that understanding that's not your ball, like, that's not your ball, and that ball will bounce right back to the person that threw it out in the first place. I mean, if you're like into the person, then sure, but again, understanding that's not your ball. That's not our ball, that's not our ball. Next one, how to plan out my days better so I procrastinate less. Also, how to be on my phone less. I don't know. I think with planning out your days, finding a routine that works for you and finding other things that make you excited as someone that fills her schedule as much as she possibly can, finding things that will keep you off of your phone or keep you interested in other things and making plans with friends and stuff like that. I don't know, I'm lucky because I live next to some of my friends, but I think setting intentions before the day actually comes and then again keeping the discipline to make yourself do it. Like on Monday, even though it was my first day of classes, I have a gap in between my classes and I decided the night before that would be a good time for me to go to the gym. So instead of letting myself think about it, be like, because that's when you lose the motivation and the discipline, is when you start thinking like, what if I don't have enough time? What if I need to do other things? It's my first day. Maybe I should let myself off easy. Your mind starts convincing you out of it. So, not even letting yourself, I think this is a habit for me now, but blocking out the thoughts of like demotivation. Just being able to shut those thoughts down when they enter your mind. And again, that is a discipline in itself. How I'm going to deal with this semester because I have way too many things to do. I think taking things one assignment, one thing at a time is best. There was one time last semester where I was talking to one of my friends that day, and I had 3 classes that day, and then I had a doctor's appointment after that. I had a formal to go to, and then after that, I had a lacrosse game to play. I had 3 classes, and then I had 3 events after. Realizing that the only way you can get through your day is to take it one thing at a time. Say, I'm going to put all of my focus onto this one thing right now because that's what it needs. I am not going to think about how I'm going to have to run around after. I am going to enjoy what I have right now in front of me and give that all. I also think lists, this is like very practical advice. I don't know how I lay out my assignments. I don't use a planner because that's more inconvenient in my mind. I have the reminders widget on my home screen and I'll put all of my assignments like for the week on that, and also that just makes me feel very accomplished when I get to click all of them off. And I keep on the filter where it still says all the assignments you completed so that at the end of the week I can go up and I can hit clear and they'll all wipe away. Also, it's just still finding time for you to do things for you. I know me and this person bond over like YouTube time, like being able at the end of the day to watch YouTube and putting some intentionality with that and saying this is my time to relax. I'll turn my phone off. I'll turn my Canvas notifications off. I don't know. Whatever you need to do to remember that you are a person and not just someone running around doing things. Okay. This one says, I fell for my sneaky link. I'm so mad. Now, we could go one of 2 ways with this. It can be you're trying to cope, or you want to get rid of those feelings. I don't know if this is still a current sneaky link or like you fell for them and then you told them that and now it's just no more at all. I don't know. But saying this is still current, how to cope with the fact that you fell for your sneaky link but they don't want you back? Well, let's sit down in front of our journal and let's write down why we think we like them. Let's think about if it's actual attraction or if it's just convenience, proximity, uh, things that you've found out about them. What are they? And once you've completed that, let's go for a long walk. And while you're on that long walk, you can listen to Johnny by Faye Webster over and over again. And we're going to get all of the emotions out. And then once you're done listening to Johnny by Faye Webster at least 4 times, I want you to put on Gunna idk.b, and you're going to listen to that coming back on your walk. And you're going to realize, actually, this person. Oh, wait. Then we're blocking the feelings out. Sorry. Method 2, blocking those feelings out. But still put on gonna for method 1. Now we're switching over to method number 2. Getting rid of these feelings. Now we're going to start by listening to gonna. And then you're going to think about what this person actually wants from you and what you originally wanted from this person. Then you're gonna find another person. This is gonna be the worst episode of a podcast of all time. And then you are going to think about all of the weird, off-putting things that they've probably already said to you. Make a list of those. Make a list of the cons of them as a person. And then boom, you're fixed. I hope it's obvious that I'm mostly joking. Don't view me differently after this podcast. Next, how can I turn class friends into real friends? Now, I think what's worked for me is becoming good class friends, maybe exchanging Instagrams or phone numbers. And then I think the next natural progression would be like to have a hangout that's still related to the class, like get food and then have a study session, maybe midterms, or like do a quiz together if you have an online quiz with them. Yeah, getting dinner together at a dining hall, going and studying, and then finding out you all make funny jokes together, and then you can naturally progress from that into just hanging out regularly or just getting food. But you could probably skip a few steps also. You could just try to hang out with them outside of class if you want to. But it does feel so embarrassing. It feels like it's the same kind of humiliation ritual as like trying to find a roommate online for college and being like, I love to thrift and the sun. And I love my friends and my dog. And the color purple. Please be my roommate. Please. That didn't even work for me, but whatever. It feels like the same kind of humiliation ritual of like putting yourself out there and like asking for friends, but it will be worth it. And maybe I could tell the story. Okay. I'm going to tell my squirrel story again. Okay, I was in one of my classes and I thought those two girls look so cool. I don't know how normal that is for everybody else to think that, but I have that thought a lot about different people, and I'm like, I feel like I need to be friends with them. And then later I saw them outside the building that we were just in, and they were looking at squirrels and like trying to kind of like call them over to them. And I literally just went up to them. I was like, oh, are you guys feeding the squirrels? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. They're like such a big deal here. And I didn't say anything else. I didn't give them my name. I didn't give them my major. Those are the two things you have to tell every single person you ever meet if you didn't know when you come to college. I didn't tell them anything about me, and I just walked away. And now they're my friends. It's okay to be weird and off-putting sometimes because it works sometimes. Put yourself out there, say, they seem cool. I'll be friends with them. Next. Should I quit my job and try to find one in event planning? Do you think I can do it? 100% yes. Maybe keep your job for now and then go see what jobs they have in event planning, because if I'm being honest, I don't know what the event planning field looks like at all. But for this person and any person, yes. If you have a passion, well, okay. Here's my advice. If you have a passion that you feel so strongly about, just start doing things for it. Like this. My last piece of advice for today, I think. Yeah, it is. Why does nobody love me? Like they like me but don't love me, you know? Okay. I feel like every single person on this planet, well, I know this. Every single person on this planet is lovable. Okay, and don't use that to cancel me, cuz there's some obvious ones that I don't personally love but other people love. So, Therefore, they're still lovable, but not by the public. That's my disclaimer. Where I'm going with this, I don't think that I don't think you should take it as you're unlovable, because every single person has so many different lovable traits. Again, don't take this and apply it to the worst people in the whole world, but I think that the people you've probably found that you want to love you just don't know you well enough, or do not see a beauty that other people are able to see, and therefore love. I'm guessing this person has been in like maybe shorter term relationships, and that's what we're talking about, or like talking stages, I guess, and it's never gone deeper than that. I think just not taking this as you're unlovable, but seeing it more as you haven't met people that can fully see your lovable qualities because of who they are and what they need in their relationships. And that is something that is built too. Like I was talking with soulmates, you're not going to instantly click and be like, I mean, I don't know. That's what happens in movies, I guess, sometimes. Maybe, again, I just haven't felt that. I almost just threw up in my mouth. I haven't felt instant love before. But I feel like that is something that, again, needs to come together and then be built upon, like any relationship, and then that naturally progresses. It's not something that's impossible. That's my advice session. I don't know if this is the worst thing to ever be put on YouTube ever, but I hope you guys enjoy. If you did enjoy, please like the video and subscribe, and comment down below 2 things that you want to argue with me about down below. Just in general. Thanks. Love you guys. Bye.